Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Corey. I am an art director, graphic designer, and over here we talk about design, creativity, all of that good stuff. Sounds very interesting, I know. Go ahead and subscribe. And for all my people who have been here, yes, you see it, this is another design video. You know the drill. Go ahead and get you something to eat and get you something to drink. Today I am having a Red Bull. It's not even noon yet. For today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of some repurposing. If you are familiar with me or you have been following me specifically on Instagram, then you know I used to do something called Wrapformations. Wrapformations are just a series of graphics that I would put out every month or every other month, or however. It was supposed to be every month, but you know how that go. I would put these graphics out that were design sets of lyrics that had some kind of affirmative tone to them. I joked all the time about being someone who, instead of doing like daily affirmations and morning affirmations, music always had my affirmations in them. And so I started designing those, and the purpose of them was for me to be able to get more, not creative, what's the word I want to use? It was basically to try out different typefaces and color palettes and find things that I liked, and then I had like my own kind of inspiration to pull from when it came time to choosing colors and type. You get me? Anyway, so the other day I was listening to music and I kept picking out lyrics that would have worked great for new Wrapformations, and I was like, I should just do like a random set out of the blue. It's not something that I officially canceled, but I hadn't done it in so long that I was just like, I don't feel like it. But when I thought about that, I was like, that would be so dope if I could transform Wrapformations into something that existed in the real world, in real life, and like kind of activated the community. If you don't know, last year was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. It was a great year for me, very entertaining, because there were so many activations surrounding this event. And me personally, I think hip hop and hip hop culture is something to be celebrated beyond the 50th anniversary. I want to celebrate it all the time. That's just how I was raised. So in that thought process, I thought of a kind of like a pop-up campaign specifically for music festivals. In this video, we are transforming Wrapformations into a sort of campaign in a box, something that any music festival or music related event can take on and add to their event as an activation that will help meet their KPIs or just be a celebratory moment. You know, it is very important to find ways to activate your audience at any event, in any campaign, so on and so forth. And so we're gonna build out Wrapformations today and maybe tomorrow. Depends on how long it takes me to get this stuff done. I'm undecided if I'm calling this a campaign or a mini brand, because I anticipate it being something that literally is packaged. I want this to be something like if I decided to create a music festival in downtown Atlanta and I licensed Wrapformations as a brand, a mini brand, and basically had access to all of the assets needed to create a specific stage for Wrapformations, just like other sponsors have their own stage at festivals, some like swag, merch, all of that stuff. So that's what this is. Whatever the word is, that's what this is. In order to bring my vision to life, I'm going to use my favorite place a lot. And if this is not your first lengthy design with me video, then you already know what my favorite place is. And if you don't, shame on you. So Envato Elements is a creative subscription service that gives you access to millions of assets. I'm not exaggerating. I can be dramatic, but I'm not even exaggerating. It says it right there. Back in the day when I was scouring the internet, going on Google, going on a million different websites to get my fonts, to get my templates, to get my mock-ups, all that time and all that money I was spending on multiple subscriptions then has now become simpler. Envato Elements is one subscription. You have access to a wide array of assets. I'm talking fonts, graphic templates, stock video, audio. It's all there. Everything you need, it's there, I promise you. Aside from saving all that money from only having to go to one place with your one subscription, you also have unlimited downloads. Like, unlimited. Whatever you want. You can have whatever you like. The absolute most important thing for me that made me go ahead and get a subscription in the first place is the licensing system. Everything on the platform has one simple commercial license, so you're pretty much worry-free. You can download whatever it is you need under whatever project you're working on and use it. If you have dealt with the troubles and worrying of licensing before, you already know what I'm talking about. I say all that to say you need it, and you've been knew that because I've been telling you. But thank you to Envato Elements for sponsoring today's video. So typically in my process, I start with some research, right? And so I started to research music festivals to see if I could develop a look and feel that aligned with that general vibe. Just because that's where I intend for Rafformations to be activated. But then I realized Rafformations is a brand of its own. And so I just want to solidify the identity that it has so that I'm able to then create the assets. There's so many conversations to be had and things to know about the logistics of if this were a real thing and a festival wanted to create a merge of the two identities. That's possible. It's a thing. It can be done, but that's for them to figure out. I'm going to do this. So after some thinking, here's my plan for the brand. Rafformations is meant to emphasize the good vibes and the feel goods in hip hop, the things that make you feel good personally in hip hop culture. And so, of course, I need to focus on the lyrics themselves, but I also would like to focus on the people. I want the people who are in these spaces to see themselves reflected in these activations. It's meant to make them feel good. So I want it to be photography heavy because I want them to see themselves. So I'm envisioning beautiful, fun photography mixed with beautiful, fun typography, okay? Not a new concept, but it's gonna work here. So let's take a look into my brain. This is a little mood board that I put together, and the original items that I placed in here were actually my older Rafformations. So these 4 posters you see here are Rafformations that I designed previously. We may or may not repurpose them in this video, but we'll get to that in a second. I gotta think. I went and looked up some images that I like that combine photography and typography, or something like that, giving me a sense of how I like the layout, what types of graphic elements I want to incorporate, things like that. I pulled out the different ways that I like how the two things work together. I don't want one to overwhelm the other. I think the lyrics are probably the most important here, but I still want the people to be present. And so I'm liking the ones that have like the layering aspect, like this one to Tyler the Creator here, where like the text is both in front and behind him. Some of the text is less important. Like I could easily imagine the entire set of lyrics being there, but the Rafformation being the main thing. We also have some of these where the type is a little more fluid, it's a lot more fluid, fun, like a handwritten, hand-drawn type of thing. But as you can see, it's also doing that same layering style. And like the look of cut out images would also just work really well here. This one with ASAP Rocky, same idea. Now that I'm looking at it, I can clearly see what I like the most. And it is like this one, the use of negative space is fire, but it also, there's cutouts, there's layering, it's incorporated with large, bold type. You get the theme here. It's all here. So anyway, from here, I went ahead and started pulling out some swatches that I use a lot. And so if you look on the side, these are some of the typical colors that I include in my palettes when I do Rafformations. There are plenty others. The whole thing was just colorful. It's very, very colorful. But these were some of my favorites. These colors are also all featured in the Rafformations that I included on the mood board. If you look down here, you'll see that the actual swatches are basically the rainbow. I think this is a good example of using a typical palette, but it's not noticeable to be what it is. So a lot of people wouldn't look at the Rafformations and be like, oh, she's using the colors of the rainbow. You wouldn't think that, but this is Roy G. Biv. This is what the palette is. I like that aspect being here because it is like a subtle nod or a silent nod even to all the things that rainbows represent. I think it goes without saying that hip hop and rap as an art has a lot of stigma to it. The reputation is not the best, but what I'm focusing on are the positive aspects. I'm pulling positivity out of it, and rainbows represent all things positive. Inclusivity, acceptance, happiness, love, hope. That's what their representation is. And so that is what I like about using this palette here, but I will not be using it as an obvious rainbow ever. That would be too clear and too on the nose. So now that I have a general idea of a direction I want to take, I am going to go back on Envato Elements and pull out some of the things like the mock-ups that will help me put all of this together at the end. I just want to be prepared and constantly thinking about those things that would like be able to present this well. For me in this instance, that would include billboards, some poster mock-ups, like some outdoor type of like wheat pasting posters, because this is a festival. We need to present the brand in the right environment so that it's easier to sell. Write that down. I'm also grabbing a stage mock-up because I do want to have a sponsored stage at whatever festival picks this up. And then I also would like to include some merch, of course. That's duh. Looking at these mock-ups, I'm getting excited like this is a real project. Delusion. All right, so let's design something. I did want to include a couple of new lyrics in here rather than just using everything that I've had before. So I did previously take the very long process of listening through every song I know to find some new affirmations, just to end up coming back to 2 very recent songs that I already identified affirmations from. I pretty much wasted my time, but I love that process because I love listening to music, so no big deal. But this is what we settled on. So from Like That by Future, Kendrick, and Metro, I'm going to just use I'm Really Like That. This song had plenty of things to use in it, but I think for the sake of this, the shorter the better, and also wanting it to be easily recognizable. For things like a billboard, I don't want to use lyrics that are more like you have to know the song to understand what you're looking at. But if I saw something that said I'm really like that on it, I'm taking a picture of it easily. Then we have Yeah Glow. Y'all know I love that song. You can't play that song once. Like, you have to play it back to back every time. The whole song is an affirmation, but for the sake of keeping it as clean as possible and also the one that I felt was the most affirmative, we're gonna do On Top of the World Now, They Tried to Underestimate Me. I would say that in the mirror every morning. And then I think I'm just going to focus on 3 sets of lyrics. And so I definitely want to use one of my favorite ones, which is this one right here. Remind yourself, nobody built like you, you designed yourself. I love that for plenty of reasons. I'm sure you can guess the reasons why. But yeah, that has to come into this. Being that the words are very important, that means the typefaces we choose will also be very important. So let's go find some. Back to Envato we go. So I have been saving fonts that I like on Envato for a minute. There are so many typefaces to choose from, and I've downloaded a lot of these, but I've also saved a bunch into folders. So I'm gonna look through here. I love this font. Every time I see it, I'm like, I need to use it. But I'm definitely looking for things that match the feeling that the lyrics have. Or the feeling that the song has. So I'm gonna do a quick look through and save what I like when I see it, but I'm also going to go through my fonts collection and essentially look through that as a short list so that I'm not here all day, because I could easily sit here and look at every single font. So now that I've shortlisted my typefaces, I'm gonna take those, my colors, and I'm going to work out some different combinations and compositions to create the rap formations themselves, the 2 new ones. And then I will come back so that we can select photos and create the key art together.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence, but I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo. Smile so much to hide my sorrows. Faith is shaky in vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long.
Some time has passed. This is what we got going on so far. I'm about to plug in the color swatches that I have already up here so I can start figuring out what color combinations I'm going to use. But of course I got distracted. I always work out of order. So I pulled some images. I keep images on deck at all times. So I already had some stuff that aligned with what I like, the kind of look and feel I'm going for. You get it. You get the gist. Fun, happy looking people who love hip hop and hip hop culture, rap music. So I happen to have these already saved in like an unlicensed folder in my computer, meaning these are pictures that I use for fun for projects like this. But I have them here so that I can try to start to see how they look in combination with each other, with the type and all that stuff, kind of just to get like some foreshadowing of what the rest of this is gonna look like. I'm gonna go back to finishing this, make the key art. I'm gonna use all those, let's just do it all. I'm gonna use all of those mock-ups that I got from Envato already, and I'm just gonna build out the whole thing.
Back up on my grizzly on my bar. yeah, yeah. Ask me how I'm doing awesome, yeah, yeah. Fake energy, that's where you lost him, If you come around this time it costs, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't trust nobody, no, we all fucked up. I don't trust nobody, only God I trust. Over traumatized, so the squad might bust. Probably get your body, then the squad locked up. Look, I've been in my head, I don't know which way to turn now. Thought it was forever, but relationships endure now. And I'm sick of trying, man, I start to feel the burnout. People come and go, that's a lesson that I learn now. Back up on my grizzly, on my bar, yeah, yeah. Ask me how I'm doing awesome, yeah, yeah. Fake energy, that's where you lost him, If you come around this time it costs, yeah, yeah, yeah. Back up on my grizzly, on my barge, yeah, yeah. Ask me how I'm doing awesome, yeah, yeah. Fake energy, that's where you lost him, If you come around this time it costs, yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing well now, I let go cause I wasn't held down. False claimers, false friends, yeah, they everywhere now. I just move in silence, I don't kiss and tell. Now let me get that back. I just move in silence, I don't kiss and shh. Look, life ain't come with manuals. Old friends, I wish them well. Close the coffin, hit the nail. Had to change the personnel.
This ended up being very fun. I do love how it turned out. And as I was designing everything, I realized how much this brand can really expand in terms of the activation. Because we're using lyrics and using them over portraits, it's very easy to be able to create user-generated content, creating frames that people can use and post themselves online. I got into all of that, and you'll see exactly what is included when I finally stop talking and go ahead and roll out the Rapformations brand. So without further ado, here it is.
Check how we moving with the vision in mind. I'm low side with my on division with slime. Been making plays, I'm finna dish 'em a dime. I feel my pocket vibrating, that's your on the line. Check how I'm living with the vision in mind. I'm low side with my on division with slime.
That was it. Let me know what you think down below and what other ideas you might have for something like this. I would love to see it. If you aren't subscribed and you watch this whole thing, you're here right now, and you still didn't subscribe, that's crazy. Please go ahead and do it. I'll wait. And of course, thanks again to Envato Elements. If you all have any questions, or if you of course want to sign up, because you must sign up, I'm telling you, trust me. Information will be down below in the description. There may be something else for you there, I don't know, check. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
I peel a scabbard too if you play me some pimping. I used to talk a lot lately, lady, I listen. I'm quick to cut them if they can't play their position. We slizzard inside the Chevy, no levy, holding the wave, blowing this herb.